Joni, do you want to address that? You were there and Sandy was there.
Yeah,
Go
definitely.
ahead.
Well, we've encountered that entity in the basement before, and he feels very powerful, very negative. And I guess everybody comes to these investigations from a different perspective, and I have encountered some pretty negative entities. After I got in contact with Soul Collector, I've been a little apprehensive when I feel a really strong presence and it's sending off a lot of negative vibes. So initially, my questions to him were a little bit more protective, as in, you need to stay back, you cannot get too close, and I felt like he was trying to take our energy. And I wasn't looking any deeper than the fact that he scared me, that there was pain and suffering behind his actions, that maybe he was being gruff and being negative in that sense because he was hiding some deeper pain. And you touched on that, and I swear it just changed my whole perspective, and it made me feel really bad for not being compassionate with him from the very beginning.
Thank you. Sandy, what was your take on that?
I think that I agree with Joni, but I was also impressed. I listened back to it last night, and I was also impressed at how in sync the three of us were in our impressions, and how the feeling of the room changed dramatically throughout the session, because he was a very strong spirit, and he was a bit antagonistic to us in trying to, I think, use his strength to make us leave him alone. And we got past that with him. He stopped that, and he kind of let his true self be felt by us. It wasn't that we were, speaking for myself, I'm no great shakes at understanding or sensing things, but I think he let some of his barriers down and let me feel that. So I thought it was remarkable from that standpoint as well.
Yeah, the entire energy of that basement changed at the end of that session, and it went from this horrible, oppressive sensation, this sensation of real torment, torture, and pain, to a sense of lightness and freedom and release. And I just want to say it was such an honor and privilege to share that experience with the two of you. And like you said, we were all in sync. Our energy sort of melded together to help this poor soul cross over, and it was very, very beautiful, and I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, any reaction?
Well, that's the first I'm hearing of it, and I could feel how amazing that must have felt for you guys. Just by listening to it, I could feel the energy. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So, Chris, why don't you talk about the sessions that you guys had in the attic?
Well, the problem with that was it was late in the night, and a lot of people were talking downstairs, so a lot of what we were getting was getting fouled. So we were feeling a lot of presence. We were feeling a lot of spirit. They were absolutely talking with us. A couple of screaming spirits and whatnot. There were a couple of times that I saw Jackie's eyes just kind of like popped open. Tom, you want to talk about it a little bit? Because you were the one pretty much leading it. I just want to let everybody know. When Tom is my lead investigator, and another guy named Maury, when I do an investigation, I leave all that stuff up to them. I help out. I ask questions. I give them my psychic impression. We try to confirm it with the recorders. So I let Tom do everything. I really do. I really lean on him for the scientific part, because I'm all about being psychic. So, he leads the charge. So, Tom, why don't you take it?
What we were feeling, not feeling, but what we were getting upstairs is that we were having some activity. We would hear knocks and pings and whatnot. What Jackie kept seeing was whatever was upstairs was definitely into seeing what we were doing. There was a time, there was one part where at the corner of my eye, I could see, I thought it was something looking over Jackie's shoulder, looking down at the camera. A tall man, but that's all I really got was like just a quick flash of light. That's all I saw.
Well, I just want to ask, Tom, one second, because Victor, you guys were up in the attic a lot for a while as well. Did you feel that there was somebody up there looking at you the whole time? Because we had that feeling the whole time we were there.
Absolutely. In fact, Joni and Sandy backed me up on this. I remember having several instances of feeling being touched and getting very, very cold. Do you guys recall that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Did you either of you experience that also?
Yeah, well, we were feeling that. I was feeling them touching my back, my shoulder, and I think at one point Tom said the same thing. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. At one point in time, I literally felt my shirt move on my back.
Yeah.
Normally that would make me jump out of my chair, but what Jackie kept seeing, she kept seeing light, changes of light in the corner. Now, we had a camera going there, a Static X camera going. Full spectrum, but it wasn't the colors weren't the colors that were generating. She says, she goes, I'm seeing blue, green, like all these different colors that were changing. And I couldn't see them. And then finally, right near the end, I saw what she was talking about. I thought maybe she was just seeing the light flashing onto the wood or something like that. And then I finally saw what she was talking about, and it looked like it was actually the light was shining onto something, not the wood. And that was making changes in the color. Yep.
Yeah,
so
it was really awesome. I mean,
they wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah, they were definitely there. They were definitely watching us. I was seeing shadows walking by, which is kind of pissing me off, I got to tell you, because I was looking forward to actually seeing full apparitions, and I didn't see full apparitions, but I saw a lot of shadows. The only thing I did see, and I'll bring this up real quick, was when we were outside looking down where we were standing, Jeff, I did see like a 9-foot looking being down about 30 yards down from where we were by the circle. You know exactly what I'm talking about, because that's where we were standing. And then when I said that, you were like, that's what I see all the time. That's what I see all the time, which I thought would be pretty cool.
And that creature was carrying a book that said How to Serve Mankind.
That's right.
And it's a cookbook.
But
hey,
that's
Victor,
what I remember about that.
I'd like to add something. So I investigated with another group back in, I believe it was March. And I actually have the footage saved as well, but it was pretty ironic, and I mentioned it to Chris when the four of us were down in the basement. It was Chris, Jackie, Tom, and myself, and Chris was getting a feeling from something in the corner, and it was incredible to me because it was almost a carbon copy of a completely separate investigation with a separate paranormal investigation team, and both Chris and this other individual who I won't name his name, but almost had identical experiences. They felt it in the same area. They had the same type of experience. It was wild, you know. It was wild.
I wonder if that's the same place that Joni and Sandy and myself were sitting. Sort of to the, there's a catty corner there where there's a table to the right, and then sort of a window in front of us, and the three of us were sitting in that area. Was that what you're talking about?
No, it was the opposite corner. There were no windows.
Okay.
So basically, if you came down the stairs, you take the you take the hard right, and if you just walked straight ahead, and then when you reach the corner, that it was in that area there.
Oh, that's the corner. That was the corner behind where Joni and Sandy and I were. Okay.
Yeah, that was interesting because I remember you saying there was something I said. I don't remember. Maybe it was something about
he was playing peekaboo.
Peekaboo. That's right. That's why we tried to get him to say peekaboo, and he said the boo. But that was pretty interesting. Good
and that was almost the exact phrase the other investigator used, and I think he got, and then you got your leg taken out, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think and something very similar happened to him as well.
I had the same thing happen to me, Joni and Sandy.
Oh
what
my
happened
God.
to me down there?
Yeah.
I fell down.
And like the chair moved or something. It was dark, so he thought he just misjudged where the chair was. But he took a hard spill.
That's funny. The same exact thing happened. That's really fascinating.
Yeah. You know what? We didn't even talk about that, Victor.
You know what, Chris? We're so enveloped in the energy. I mean, so enamored with what was going on that night. I think that a lot of these events went by. Listen, we got about 4 minutes left, so what I'd like to do is go around the group and just get a final thought from everybody, about 30 to 45 seconds. And let's start with you, Joe. Joe, go ahead, please.
Once again, the whole investigation and the experience that I had, it felt very organic. I had some old friends there and some new friends, and it was just a very comfortable night, and I look forward to investigating again with you guys.
Absolutely. Sandy?
I was thinking along those lines as well. I think we had so many amazing things happen, but the thing that sticks with me is the connection I made with all of you.
Yeah.
That was a real heartfelt connection.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Absolutely. Joni?
Well, yeah, I feel the same as everybody else. What I was going to say is I would like to see if we could take our connection, our same group, and go somewhere else and see if we have the same kind of reactions.
I think it's a great
idea. Take our show on the road, maybe, and see what happens.
I think there's no doubt that we could.
We had such a powerful connection and so many great results. I feel like that we were brought together for a reason.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Tom?
Just one question. Jeff, beer, pizza, ghost soon?
July 11th.
July 11th, yep.
You're right down the highway, buddy. I've been telling you that. I mean, you're like 2 exits up.
Joe will be there. Joe will be there, and we'll be filming again.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Tom, on behalf of Jackie, final thought?
She actually did just thank you for the experience, and she definitely wants to do the pictures again next time and see if she can get the same thing to happen.
And I just want to thank her for being our official staff photographer and taking my camera and my little video guy, and, of course, Joe with his professional equipment, the wonderful work he did. And there will be a video in a couple of weeks of edited of all stuff together. Joe, I have your permission, I assume, to start using some of your stuff in that.
Yes, you do. Absolutely. Yep.
Thank you very much. And our host, Mr. Jeff, final thought.
Like you guys, I mean, it was just like a magical weekend. I live in freaking Disneyland here for ghosts. I mean, it's crazy over here, you know? I mean, since then, too, the land is kind of changed. I mean, the animal activity is really picking up, and it's crazy. I mean, I look out my window, and it's like, oh, it's a deer, oh, it's a coyote, oh, it's not, you know, and it's all in that area. Oh, one quick thing. I didn't tell you guys, me and my kids, we've been having fires out there, and we actually caused a little underground fire.
Wow. Underground fire.
It burned out, like the whole thing. The guy that works here, he texts me, and he goes, you caused a freaking forest fire. And I'm like, really? It's like I haven't had a fire in, like, nights.
No, we did
It went
not.
up to the ground and burnt it all out. So we have new land. That's good, though. It turns it over.
That's it. That's good. I like that.
No, we didn't. My final thought.
No, we did not.
Listen, my final thought, and again, it wasn't about investigations. It wasn't about ghosts. It was about reuniting spiritual family for the higher purpose. Number one, of our meeting and gathering together and working together. And number two, for the rededication of that land and for the acknowledgement and appreciation of the spirits who dwell in that land, and to go out into the world and to spread the message of love and reunification, because that's what this world needs right now. Mr. Chris?
Well, for me, it was kind of life-changing because I did something I never did before, and I got to do it with people that I love and people that I respect. And we talk about paranormal unity. I'm very united with you guys, and I was blessed to be part of that whole night. And thank you, guys. I want to thank you.
And thank you to all of you. Our guest next week, British spiritualist medium David Russell, will be our guest on Second Sight Radio. He's psychic medium Chris George. I'm Victor the Voice Furman. And Chris, what do we do every week?
We try and make the unbelievable believable. Thank you, everybody, and good night.
Thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful week, everyone. Good night now. Okay, we're off the air. For those of us who are here, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you guys are great. You guys did great.
Thank you so much.
All right. What is another wrap?